Welcome to Hail. We're in the north of Saudi Arabia for the 16th edition of Baja Hail. Once an important stopping point for pilgrims making their way to Mecca for the Hajj, Hail is now a city of around 600,000 inhabitants. Boasting some remarkable architecture, it's also a significant agricultural centre known for its wheat, dairy and fruit products. This year, Hail will be hosting two separate Bahas, the final two rounds of the curtailed FIA World Cup season. Vehicles have been arriving in Saudi Arabia in recent days, and some of them will be staying for over a month, with the 43rd edition of the Dakar Rally getting underway in Jeddah at the start of January. Plenty of big names have travelled here for this Hail doubleheader. Some will be fighting for the FIA cross-country Baja's crown, while others are looking to test before Dakar. That is the case for elite biker Adrian van Beveren, who has come here with just one mechanic. Some of the locals enjoying a front row seat for shakedown in the cars. This is the first time that I've driven this car on the track, so we need to do a bit of testing and hopefully we can have a successful event. Mr. Dakar himself is also in town. All the factory teams are here. It'll be like a dress rehearsal for the Dakar. We're going to do one Baja with the race car, around 400 kilometres, hopefully without destroying it. That way we can be sure that everything works before the Dakar. In the second Baja we'll use the test car, and I think Carlos and I will both be putting the hammer down a bit more in the test car. Nasser Al-Attiya is a two-time winner here. I'm back here in my second home, Hail. Today we have managed to do some testing, and now I'm ready to tackle Baja Hail before we start to think about the Dakar Rally in January. Meanwhile, local hero Yazid Al-Raji is chasing his 6th victory. We need to win Baja Hail to prepare in the best possible way for the Dakar, which starts in a couple of weeks. We will try to keep our car in one piece and try to win the Baja. So here's what faces the competitors over the next few days. Baja 1 will be held on Friday and Saturday, before Baja 2 on Tuesday and Wednesday. A total of 4 loops around the city with some tricky navigation on the menu. Approximately 500 kilometres of timed section for each Baja. So do strap yourselves in for what promises to be a fascinating 16th edition of this event. An early start on Friday morning as the competitors headed in to the first special. These races are important because we've made some adjustments to the car and we have to check everything is working okay before the Dakar. Look at this landscape, lots of sand, everything I like. Friday's action kicks off with a spin northwest to Radifa and back, just over 250 kilometres of timed section. This area boasts some of the most stunning scenery in the Arabian Peninsula, and it's a popular spot for local riders, as Van Beveren was set to discover. The Frenchman getting underway in the bikes. Plenty of quads also competing. Abdulaziz Al-Shayban was 4th at the Hail Rally in February, and he was 2nd fastest today. Leading the way, his fellow Saudi Riyad Al-Shamari, winner of the International Stunt Championship in 2017. No real surprises in the bikes as the riders with the top 3 bib numbers set the pace. In third, number 3, the Saudi rider Michel Al-Ghuneim. He completed the Dakar on his debut last year, and he's now preparing to tackle the rally in the grueling original by mature class. He did have a couple of problems today, taking a spill in the camel grass and dropping almost 40 minutes. Second place went to this man, Konrad Dabrowski. He is the son of Polish rally legend Marek Dabrowski, a three-time world champion who came as high as 9th place on the Dakar. Dabrowski Jr., who is just 19 years of age, enjoying himself on the sandy tracks, even if he did have a few problems with the navigation. Van Beveren took a comfortable victory, no surprises there, but the Yamaha factory rider found it tougher going than he might have expected. With lots of tracks all over the sand, it wasn't always easy for the riders to find their way. On top of that, the road books were handed out in the morning, so not much time to study the route. Van Beveren crashed out on stage 3 of last year's Dakar, so he hasn't had too much experience of the Saudi terrain. The Frenchman looking to pick up some useful experience after a coronavirus-affected 2020 season. It was actually much harder than I was expecting. It's proper navigation, a proper rally. For me, it's not a Baja, and I really had to focus. Van Beveren 25 minutes clear of Dabrowski, with Al-Ghuneim coming in a shade ahead of the first two quads. But it was a tough day for Fawaz Al-Tawaimi, who lost almost 2 hours due to mechanical issues. My name is Abdallah Salah Al Saif. I am 43 years old and I have been crazy about motorsport since I was a little boy. My passion has developed over time as I've taken part in more and more competitions. I worked my way up to the Saudi Arabian Championship in 2018. It was the first time that I had done a rally raid event. I had always dreamed of doing the Dakar. Last year I signed up for the very first time with the help of my country, Saudi Arabia. This year I'm hoping to get an even better result and try to avoid making the same mistakes as last year. Motorsport is very popular in Saudi Arabia, and that is why there are so many rallies organised throughout the country. Federations are springing up all over the place, and they are developing more and more competitions. The popularity of the sport has really grown in recent years, and there are now more and more people taking part in the various different rallies. I'm currently in 8th place in the World Cup. If I can do well and take victory at these two Baja Hail events, then hopefully I should end up in a good position in the FIA World Cup standings. Onto the cars then. There are 12 crews racing in the top FIA category this year. Vladimir Vasiliev's targeting the World Cup crown. He's second overall behind Bernhard ten Brinker. Nasser Al-Attiyah has taken part in Baja Hail twice in 2008 and 2011, and the Qatari claimed victory on both occasions. He is the master of the sands and will take some beating in his Toyota Hilux. Al-Attiya sending out a message to his rivals by winning the opening stage by 3 minutes. In second place was Carlos Sainz, the winner of last year's Dakar. The former World Rally champion turned 58 this year, but he is still as quick as ever. A smooth outing in the mini buggy for the evergreen Sainz and his co-driver Lucas Cruz. They weren't far behind Al-Attiya. Stefan Petter-Hansel says he's happy to be back in the buggy after he raced in a 4x4 at the Andalusia Rally. The French legend is also getting used to a new co-driver, Edouard Boulanger. But it was a solid enough day. He was just a couple of minutes down on his teammate Sainz. Now, if Petter-Hansel is Mr. Dakar, then Yazid Al-Rajhi is surely Mr. Hail. The Saudi has triumphed here on 5 occasions, most recently in 2016. He's looking to make it half a dozen wins this year, although he did lose a few minutes today because of a puncture. Another Saudi hopeful is Yassir Sayyidan, who was 9th at last year's Dakar. He is now racing with Mathieu Serradori's team SRT Racing, and this was his first competitive outing in the car. Al-Attiya, meanwhile, was happy with a good day's work at the office. Yeah, we won the stage, I'm happy. It really wasn't easy, very hard. So we'll see how it goes tomorrow. Lots of navigation and broken dunes. It was tough. Well, a dream start for Al-Attiya then, but a problem for Sayyidan. A broken gearbox costing him a lot of time. But he is hopeful of getting underway again on stage 2. The top 5 on the stage then, with Vasiliev coming in a few minutes ahead of Ten Brinker. Now, 45 vehicles are taking part in the national class, which consists mainly of local crews. Al-Mashna Al-Shamari setting the pace in his Nissan. The Saudi driver was the only man in the category to come home in under 4 hours on this first stage. Munif Al-Shamari was a further 12.5 minutes back in second place. It was a pretty solid effort from the 2 Saudi competitors, although they were over 45 minutes down on the T1 winner, Nasser Al-Attiya. Here's how the Nationals lined up after a busy first day. Thanks very much for watching, and do join us again on Stage 2.